Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy 3Stacks in this thing. I'm very hyped and enthused to showcase my update on my Burning Abyss variant. So I've been tweaking around with the deck for a long time. And just recently, I think about 3 or 4 months ago, I incorporated the Ritual Malakota into my deck because I thought he was amazing. And I was like, I love Ritual so much, I want to play him. He's insane in this deck. My Burning Abyss deck is very aggro in comparison to the standard build, which is, no PK, no Phantom Knights, and it's just kind of like, 3 Farfa, 3 Skarm, 1 of everything else, maybe like 2 Libic, and everything else is pretty much standard. I didn't want to go for the standard route. Burning Abyss are hyping, they've been topping all over the place, and people are picking up their BA, so I feel like this would be a perfect time to drop an update on this deck to kind of, bring the people in that are looking for good variants on Burning Abyss and kind of basically give them some insight on how this deck works and, show them a different build that you guys might like. For those of you guys who are playing Burning Abyss right now as your competitive meta deck, you might want to check this out and be like, I never would have thought of that. So I want to share this with you guys just to see if you like it. And also, for those of you who play Burning Abyss and were looking for a really strong build, you might just like this. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into the main deck. So starting off with the king of my deck, I played 2 copies of Malakota, the Netherlord of the Burning Abyss. Basically, during either player's turn, this monster can discard a BA and target a monster on the field. It loses attack and defense in equivalence to what you discarded. And whenever he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to send 1 card from the field to the graveyard. So he's a really strong boss monster. He's at 27, and I felt that because we don't have the Burning Abyss Link monster yet, this is another way to get a huge boss monster on the field without, basically having to control multiple monsters from the extra deck. So like, this guy and your Beatrice with the Phantom Knight's Fogblade is 3 different forms of disruption that your opponent has to play around on their turn. So I like him. It's just an additional problem and it makes your boards a lot stronger. And whenever he would go down, he always takes something down with him, whether it can be destroyed or not, he doesn't care. So we played 2 copies of Malakota. He makes this deck a lot more fun than it used to be. I just like him, and his ritual spell is freaking insane. And then moving forward with the BAs, I treat Phoenix Rhino Warrior as a BA. So we play 3 copies of Phoenix Rhino Warrior. He fixes a lot of problems right now. We don't have link monsters that are not Burning Abyss. So if you ever want to link summon, Phoenix Rhino Warrior will keep your monsters from being destroyed, even though the monster you control is not a BA. Because he says they can be destroyed by battle or card effects. So whenever you special summon them and you control a non-BA, obviously they don't die, and he's one of the best mills. Because if you mill him off Dante, you're guaranteed any Burning Abyss effect that you want. We also played 3 copies of Skarm, the Stratos of the deck, you could say. She's a bit slower. She triggers on end phase. And sometimes I forget about her. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I actually forget about my end phase Skarm search. Then we played 3 copies of Farfa. Now, if you use Farfa to banish your extra deck monster, it'll return to the main monster zone. So this is one of the ways to play around Master Rule 4 without link summoning. So he's pretty nutty because he works on your monsters and your opponents. And he's one of the greatest forms of disruption. Even if, for example, your opponent has a spellbook target, right? So let's say they activate secrets. No, let's say they normal summon Blue Boy, and then they use his effect to search secrets or knowledge. You'll just use your Beatrice to banish your Blue Boy, their Blue Boy, before they play knowledge or before they play secrets. Because if you chain Beatrice, she's the initial chain link too, so Farfa will be a separate chain. So what you want to do is, as soon as you see that Blue Boy, you just go ahead and activate Beatrice's effect after his summon resolves, send him, and then banish Blue Boy away. And if they can somehow special summon the target, they can do that. But that's just a great example on how he can interrupt your opponent's plays. Of course, he can banish targets for other things like fusions. If you see a huge link summon happening, you can banish the link 3 or the link 2 monster to put them a turn behind, basically, or make them waste more resources. Farfa's amazing. We also played 2 copies of Alic. We play 2 copies of Libic. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to explain the monsters once I finish. I don't want to take too long. 2 copies of Libic, 1 copy of Sir, 1 copy of Grap, 1 copy of Calcap, 1 copy of Barbar, 1 copy of Jahig, and 1 copy of Rubik. In addition to that, 1 tour bus and 1 tour guide. So as you see, there's a lot of things that are not standard here, like in this list. A lot of Burning Abyss players don't play this. They don't play Jahig. Some of them play Alic at 2, some play Alic at 1, and then none of them play the Ritual Monster. I already explained my reason for the Ritual Monster. You guys should know what Libic does. He basically just special summons a level 3 Dark from your hand. Its effects are negated. Alic is to kind of play on your opponent's turn. It makes your Beatrice a lot stronger. She can negate any boss monster's effects. Sir and Graf are famous. That's why they're at 1. Calcap for back row. Barbar for game. If your opponent's within the range for Barbar, you can make the Nightmare Shark. He can attack directly. And when you detach for effect, Barbar burns for 900. Then you just swing for 2000. So it's just an instant kill. Barbar comes in clutch so many times. Drahig is one of the nicest techs ever. I feel like Burning Abyss players should at least tech in one of these into their list. He basically stacks a BA from your deck to the top of your deck. It guarantees your Dante Mills to be a lot more powerful. And it's any BA card, which is nice. Rubik to make Virgil on your own. Tour Bus is actually to put Tour Guide back from my graveyard into my deck. So I'm basically playing 2 Tour Guides. I didn't want to play 2 Tour Bus and a Tour Guide. I feel like it was overkill, but I at least wanted to play 2 Tour Guides because she's so strong and powerful in this deck. I feel like when you resolve Tour Guide, you basically get a free Dante and you get guaranteed anything. Whatever BA you need, if you need Phoenix Rhino Warrior, she gives you anything you need from your deck, which is really nice. So once the first one goes to the grave, you'll basically just send this to the grave, whether it's off a Dante Mill or a detach. When she's sent to the graveyard, you'll target her, shuffle her back into your deck, and then search her again for the second time off of your Skarm. So I feel like she increases your ceiling just playing her. That's just my opinion though. So that pretty much sums up the Burning Abyss portion of the monster count. We're actually just going to keep these here because I play a lot more monsters. I also play 3 copies of the Phantom Knights of Silence Boots. I also play 2 copies of Phantom Knight's Ancient Cloak. And instead of 1, I play 2 Ragged Gloves because I'm playing their rank up spell. And in order to extend your plays to make the rank up spell a lot more powerful, you have to have a second glove to actually use this effect to send the rank up if need be so, or to send Phantom Knight's Fogblade to banish it, special summon one of your Xyz and then rank it up, which is really, really powerful. So you play the 2, 2, and then 3. So 7 Phantom Knights. That actually does sum up the monster lineup now. I feel that Phantom Knights are too powerful to not play. I understand pure BA is pretty cool, but this also fixes the problem, mitigates the problem when you have no Phoenix Rhino Warrior, but you control a monster who is not a BA. For example, if your opponent has invoked Raijin, invokes a thing, and they book him when you're Burning Abyss, you are done. You're dead. You can't do anything about that. You can flip it face up, they'll Raijin again. You can never ever special summon your BAs or normal summon them. They'll just die right away without your Phoenix Rhino Warrior. And of course, they can book a moon your Phoenix Rhino Warrior with Raijin. So if you play the Phantom Knights, that mitigates for that problem because you can make your Dante using these monsters. So I feel like it's correct to play, even though some people just like pure BA, they don't like the Phantom Knights. For those of you who believe in PK Fire, I don't want to let the dream die. These are powerful off of your Dante Mills. They're free pluses. If your Dante Mills this, you just netted 2 free cards, which could be technically a +2. Search and a search. Just for free, basically. So I feel like they're powerful off the mills. The monster that they make the Breaksword, they make Breaksword a lot more prevalent in this deck because of how he plays through boards. If he has 2 Phantom Knights, you could basically out a card, Fogblade, send the rank up spell, make a second make a second Breaksword using the detach effect with the Fogblade quick play rank up, magic lance, whatever it's called. Pop a second card, and then you can go into your, for example, you can go in to be more oppressive, you can go into Dark Rebellion Dragon, or you could just go into Nightmare for the BA mirror match, which it just makes it too powerful. That's another thing. If you're not playing Phantom Knights, you don't have access to monsters like these. And your BA mirror match will be a lot more difficult if you're playing somebody who has Phantom Knights. So there's too many good reasons to play the Phantom Knights. I feel like if you're not playing them, I don't know. It's just player preference, I guess you could say that. But I feel like you're doing something incorrect because the Phantom Knights are way too powerful to not play. Like I said, and they get you out of situations that pure Burning Abyss cannot do so on their own. Like, for example, when Effect Veiler was prevalent and somebody would Effect Veiler your tour guide, you're done. Like, you're going to die because they're not going to kill the tour guide. They're just going to leave it there knowing that you can't summon anything. And they'll wait till it's time to kill you. So that sums up the monster lineup. It's pretty hefty. I do want to tech in a wrong magneting. I wanted to make this deck as spicy as possible, but I didn't have room for wrong magneting. So then moving forward to spells, we play 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites. This is insane. Even if you mill him, you can use Pre-Prep to get him from the grave to hand. Because we play 3 of his Ritual, and his Ritual makes this deck freaking insane. This Burning Abyss variant is so oppressive, it's crazy. Like I said, it's extremely aggro. 2 copies of Prep. Then we play 3 copies of Pot of Desires. We play 3 copies of Lure. I've noticed that Burning Abyss players don't actually play this card whatsoever. They choose Pot of Desires over this. I feel like you should play both. Why not? I mean, your Allure is always live. Every single one of your monsters except for Phoenix Rhino Warrior is dark. You play 3 of almost everything. You're never obviously going to banish Sir or Graf off your Allure. That's just idiotic. But there's so many monsters that you can afford to lose. Just to dig for 2 more cards, digging deeper into your deck, you might draw the Pot of Desires off this. You might draw that board wipe, that kaiju. You might draw what you need. So I feel like you have to play 3 Allure. And I just feel like it's very strange that a lot of BA players aren't running this card at all. But, you know, it's player preference. And I guess because it's their deck, it's not really like it's not my place to question it. I'll say that. And we play 3 copies of Good and Evil of the Burning Abyss. Oh, we're going to get there. I'm going to explain this very soon. I also play another spell that most BA players are really sleeping on. 2 Mass Change the Second, and also 1 Phantom Knight's Rank of Magic Launch. So this basically allows you to extend your plays. You can do something like this. You can go Break Sword, pop a card, summon Break Sword off of Fog Blade, activate this effect, banish, put another material on here, pop 2 cards. And it's insane. It lets you to play through boards. You basically just get to, in addition to Break Sword, right, he pops himself, he outs a card, and you use this, summon him from the grave, and then attach this. He pops 2 cards. Not only does Break Sword get rid of 2 cards, but he leaves you ending on a free rank 4 dart because he has 2 Phantom Knights under him. So he gives you basically 3 different forms of advantage. So I feel like just playing the one of Phantom Knight's Rank of Magic Launch is insane. It also allows you to go into Ophion. Why not? You can make them. It's just way too powerful. So I've explained this. It's got great synergy in Grave. Match Change the Second is to literally make Dark Law, to make Spirals cry, to make ABCs cry, to make Pendulum Magicians cry because they don't go to extra deck. They get banished instead. To make the Mirror Match Burning Abyss cry. Like, if you make Dark Law in the Burning Abyss Mirror Match, they're done for. Yeah, they can make Dante. Yeah, they can mill 3 and they all get banished and they can attack over Dark Law, but they have to banish 3 cards to do so. In addition to that, Dark Law can banish cards from their hand. He's just way too powerful. And don't forget that Dark Law can still be protected by the Fog Blade, which Burning Abyss players don't run this because they don't run the Phantom Knights. So there's so many cards that I see that have great potential that Burning Abyss players aren't running, and I feel like you guys should try this out. So that's why I said in the beginning of this video, if you're a BA player, you might find this interesting, you might find this inspirational. It's not like these cards were never been seen before. They've been played in the past, but people just stopped playing them. So this is basically just to go into your Dark Law. You play 2 so you can see it, because sometimes 1 gets milled, so if you're playing 1, you'll lose it. But if 1 gets milled, you'll still have the second one. It's not mandatory, but it's very, very nice to have. This is insane. This literally lets you cycle through your deck and search for any Burning Abyss card. When we get to my traps, you're going to see why this is so freaking broken. But if you mill this, you just get a guaranteed anything next turn. Any Burning Abyss card you want. So yeah, it does Ritual Summon Malakota, and then it lets you banish it, pitch a BA, and then search for a BA card. And then whatever BA you pitch, you get its effect off. It's insane. This card alone lets you play through your opponent's boards. It's so freaking broken. Allure is self-explanatory. 3 pots, because I'm actually playing, I believe, 50 cards. So it's like, why not? And pot gets milled too, so playing 3 is correct. The preps are here for Malakota, and only because of him, they give me generic pluses that my deck didn't actually have before. Not generic, but more pluses that my deck never had access to because I wasn't playing Ritual until now. So you can play this, right? You can add Malakota, then add his Ritual from grave to hand, or vice versa. You can play this, you can add his Ritual, and then add Malakota from grave to hand. So they're versatile. Either one you have, depending on the time you have it, they're going to be a plus, which gives you 2 cards in hand by playing 1. So that's a +1. That sums up the spells. And then for traps, we play 3 Phantom Knight's Fogblade. It's basically the Phoenix Chain. It's really, really strong. People are really sleeping on this card. The fact that it's searchable makes it even more powerful. It increases your ceiling because it enables you to combo further with your rank 3 plays, because you could just banish this, summon a Phantom Knights monster. You can either normal summon another Phantom Knights or normal summon your Phoenix Rhino Warrior, or you could just special summon Boots. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, it just literally, even for example with the BLs, like if the Pendulum Magician player makes BLs, you can flip this, it negates his effects, he can't be targeted for an attack, but then you make Break Sword and just pop him, and because his effects are negated, you can destroy him. This allows you to play through so many different boss monsters. It stops Dante in the mirror match from attacking over your Dark Law, because if you could protect Dark Law, Burning Abyss just lose. And since BA is kind of a deck, and Invoked, Dark Law kills Invoked. He kills so many decks, I'm telling you. It's just crazy. So this is your protection. And then the best card in my deck, the blowout card, is 3 Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss. This combos off so well with Malakota, because if you activate this, sending him and Dante, you get to destroy 3 cards. You get to add Seer from graveyard back to hand off Dante. Then his effect lets you send an additional card on the field to grave. So you literally clear 4 cards on your opponent's field. 4 of them. 4. Then you get Sir back to your hand. So this was free. That you play this 1 trap and you get a card back to your hand. You get Sir back. Dante's effect adds Sir. This effect sends another card. So you literally just break an entire board just by resolving this once. And what happens once you resolve it once, you search the other two cycling through your deck just by banishing your good and evil. So you'll literally just be like, Fire Lake, pop your cards. Oh, you're still living? Banish this. Fire Lake, pop your cards. Oh, you're still living? Banish this. Fire Lake, pop your cards. Not literally in that order, because this does say if it's sent from the field to the graveyard. Well, if it's sent to the graveyard this turn, you can't do it, so you have to wait a turn. But it literally does work like that. It allows you to cycle through your deck, and the card I always search if I don't have it already is Fire Lake. In addition to that, I decided to tech in one Traveler. This is something that doesn't see play either. I feel like this is very, very powerful, especially if you resolve a Dante and he hits the right cards. You can activate this. Or, for example, in tandem with your Fire Lake, let's say you open up with Fire Lake, then you use this to search for your Traveler. You'll resolve Fire Lake, sending off Dante and, like, for example, him. Or let's just say you send Dante and a Burning Abyss monster like Alec. Then they get their effects, you destroy 3 cards, and you activate this during your opponent's end phase or in his battle phase. Summon them back, right? Summon the Burning Abyss monsters that you sent off of your Fire Lake, activate a second Fire Lake. This makes Fire Lake live all the time. It allows you to extend your play summoning Dantes from the field, from the graveyard back to the main monster zone. It makes free rank 3s. It's so powerful and it's searchable. I feel like, why not play one? It's way too good. So I hope you guys found the main deck to be very spicy. I try my best to make it as far from standard as possible and still be competitive. For the extra deck, I played 3 Dantes. I believe firmly in 3. If one gets banished, you can never loop one Dante to put the other one back in the extra deck. If you play 2, right, and this one gets banished because they made an invoked Mechaba, you're left with 1 Dante. Once he goes to the grave, that's it. You can use Sir to keep bringing them back, but you never get to mill again, which is important. So I believe firmly in 3 Dante. I don't care if Winter Cherries exist. You have to play 3 Dantes. He's way too good. Sometimes I waste 1 Dante just to add the Fire Lake back from my grave to hand to resolve it again, because this deck uses Fire Lake like crazy. Like, I resolve Fire Lake 2 to 3 times a duel, which is insane. So triple Dante, he's way too good. Double Break Sword. 1 Levier, the Sea Dragon. I really need to bump this card up to 2. He's way too strong. Beatrice. These are the cards that I go into the most in my extra deck. Then we have Virgil and Big Dante. Virgil, you can make it off Rubik, and this only comes out because of Beatrice. You never want to play the Terminus, the Burning Abyss fusion card, because it's just like a -4. Dark Law, because you can make him. Zinmane's Fortune Tuned to sum up the rank 3s. I don't have Grand Pulse. I can't find Grand Pulse. So I would be playing him because he's 28 booty pots back rows. But you have Zinmane's, and you also have Fortune Tuned, which are really nice rank 3s. I just can't find Grand Pulse. I'm not saying don't play it. Ophion. Dark Rebellion, I need Dark Requiem, the rank 5, but I don't have them, and then Nightmare to sum up the extra deck. Give your honest opinion and feedback on this Burning Abyss list. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. Either way, I'm happy to showcase this to you guys. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Y'all be safe, stay innovative, and enjoy life. I'm out.